Hi there, my name's Jonathan from the education team here at Shortcuts. So today's video is the first in a series of three. So we've created these three videos to help you get those products off the shelf, up into your virtual shop, which is your Shopify shop, out to your customers and generating some money for your business. So while you're closed or you have the reduced income, then what we want to be doing is taking that money off the shelves, out to your clients and then back into your business. So we've made a very easy way for you to be able to do that. So we're going to go through in this, like I said, in this series of three videos. So today, the first video is all about prep. So preparation being key. So this is sort of just to make sure that everything is correct before we then go into the Shopify. So what are we going to be doing exactly? So we're going to be creating a folder. Now the folder must be created exactly as I created today on my system. So this is very important. We're going to be going up onto the shortcuts.com.au to the dedicated Shopify page. There we're going to download a couple of files. These files are going to help us generate this list that we're going to export out into your Shopify shop. Before we actually export that though, we do need to make sure that several fields to do with your products are correct. Obviously this being the name of the company, the line, and the product itself. We need to be making sure that your sell price is correct. Has to be labeled either as retail or professional, because we're only going to be exporting your not your professional. That's what we're not going to be exporting. We're going to be exporting only your retail stock. So what you don't want is some of your professional labeled as retail or vice versa, because it's going to get quite messy. And ultimately, the big one, we need to make sure that the stock amount is correct. So we're going to have to do a stock take. Then when we generate our file, we can just cross-check and just to make sure that that information is all correct. And that'll be then for our second video, where I'm going to be demonstrating how we're going to move that file into your Shopify account. We're going to be setting that up. All right, so for today, let's just get rid of this slide here. Now, what you're going to be needing to do is go to shortcuts.com.au/Spotify. Just before we do that, we're going to create a new folder. Now, down at the bottom, you'll notice on my taskbar, I have the little icon that looks like a folder. And this is our file explorer. Now, if you don't have this file, don't worry, I'll show you another way to get to where we need it to be. So I'm just going to click on this file. Now, on the left here, I'm just going to close that up. You can see that this is very clean, very tidy, but you have lots of other information in here because all these are normally open with all lists inside there. But what we want to do, we want to get to this PC. So we need to go to this location or this area on your computer. So this PC here on the left. I'm just going to go to it a different way now. So if you don't have this little file down at the bottom, I'm just going to click in that search area there. I'm just going to simply type PC. So now you can see that it says this PC. Then just click on that. And we're back to the same place as we were just a minute ago. So whichever way you go, that's fine. We're going to open this PC. Now, mine's located here at the bottom, so it says local disk. So this is my C drive. Now, I want to open up. Now, this is what's located inside my C drive. All right. Now, I'm going to create a new folder, and it's going to sit inside the local disk or C drive. So to do that, what we need to do is make sure we're hovering over local disk. So you can see on my screen there that that's highlighted. I'm going to right click so we get our window here. So we have some options, and just second to the bottom it says new. If I hover over that, then it says folder just to the right there. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on folder. So essentially there, we're creating a brand new folder that's going to sit inside our C drive. So you can see there now it says new folder. So this next bit's very important. It must be called Shopify Export. Now this isn't case sensitive, so don't worry whether it's in capitals or not, or a mixture of the two. But as long as it says Shopify Export, all one word, no spaces at all, then we're good to go. So I'm just going to press enter. So that's just moved down there now to Shopify Export. So that's in the correct place. So C drive, Shopify export, no spaces. Okay, so I'm just going to now minimize that. On our dedicated Shopify resource page, so at shortcuts.com.au/Shopify, we have a little bit of an introduction. We're just going to move down. We've got some how-to videos here and our setup guide. So this is the setup guide that we're going to be looking at just now. So I'm going to select the Get the Guide. That's now going to take us through to the document. So this video is to accompany this document. And we're just looking at page 1 today, which is before you start. Now, in Shortcuts, we've created our folder, which was step number 1. Step number 2 is these 2 files. Now we're going to download these in 2 different ways. So our first one, which ends with BAT, so export products for Shopify.bat. We're just going to select, so this is left clicking. When we left click, this comes down to the bar at the bottom. Now we do have a warning because obviously this is a file from another site. So my computer is warning me, is this harmful? I'm going to say, no, it's fine. I'm going to keep this. So I'm going to keep this file. So that was now downloaded there. The second file, which ends txt, so export products for Shopify.txt. This one, as it just says in the brackets there, we're going to right click. When I right click, I'm going to save the link as. I click on save the link as. I'm going to open up this PC. I'm then going to open up local disk or your C drive. Double click on the Shopify export, which it already is open now, and click on save. So you can see that this one's now downloaded as well. So our TXT has gone straight into that file, but the BAT file has not gone into that folder yet. So what we're going to do is go back to our file. And one of the options on the left here is downloads. So all our downloads are in there. So you can see here that we have the BAT file that we've downloaded. So we can simply grab hold of that file and drop it into our Shopify export there. If I just double click, you can see we have a BAT file and a TXT. So this is what it needs to look like inside your Shopify export file. We need the BAT and the TXT. Now I'm just going to close that. We don't need the web page anymore. What we're going to do, we're going to go and prep our Shortcuts products to make sure that they're all correct. So I'm just going to minimize that one for now. So here we are. So just going to move me down there. We've got Aaron. I'm going to be Aaron for the purpose of today. Our appointment book. So let's just go over to the navigation panel on the right hand side. So we're going to come down, we're going to select stock and then products. So on my system I have L'Oreal and Dermalogica. Then we're going to have some columns to the right of the company names there. So I've got the buy price, sell price, the tax, current level, minimum level that I require, my barcode, and whether it's active. Now there is one extra column that we need to bring in. Now you could have yours is going to look different to this. Everyone's is going to look a little bit different. But anywhere across this top bar, we can right click. And when we right click, we get some options. So which columns do we want to see or not see? So you can see we've got these columns. So if you've got lots of columns, you've got your maximum in there, one in level in there. Maybe you're not using those, maybe you are, I don't know. But the one thing we do need to bring in if you don't have it is retail. So I'm just going to show you again. So we're going to right click at the top there. We're going to come down to properties. We're going to come down about 2/3 of the way down and we're going to click on retail. So you can see that's just popped in an extra column on the end. So if I click on Dermalogica, you can see to the right hand side, everything seems to say retail. The reason being in the bottom left corner, just take your eyes down to the bottom left corner there, we have a little drop down box. Please ensure you open that and it's on all. We want to be seeing both retail and professional because we need to make sure that nothing's labeled incorrectly. All right, so Let's open up our Dermalogica again so you can see here we've got professional and retail. All right. Then I'm going to click on Ultra Calming. So within Ultra Calming, you can see my products there are listed. Got the buy price, sell price, current level, minimum level, the barcode, active, and whether it's retail or professional. What we want to be looking at is the spelling. So if this has been downloaded for you, that's fine. If you've entered the products yourself manually, there might be a difference in how it looks between the casing. So you might want to clean up the wording. That's up to you. Entirely up to you, but we need to make sure that the client is purchasing the correct product. So if you do have a variance in maybe the same product but different sizes, please make sure that they're labeled correctly. Buy price is not so important because that's for you, but for the client, we want the sell price to be correct. We want to be selling that just as it should be. Make sure that your tax is also applicable there, so we can just see, if I just open that up, we have exempt or GST. So I just squash that down so I can see the G, so I know that the GST is applied to all those products. Now my current level is set to 0, so I've not been using this system correctly in terms of my stock levels. My minimum level is 0, that's fine, we don't need to worry about that one today. We've got the barcode in there, it's active, that's fine. And these ones are retail. Now, if any of these products weren't retail and they were professional, we very just simply change that one to professional. That now becomes a professional product. Yep, so you can see that it's now become italic, so the font has changed slightly. Just going to change that one back to retail. So that's how we can change a product from retail to professional or vice versa. So just check on that. So check on retail. You're going to be checking the name of everything. So check the name of the company, the line, and the products inside. Checking your sell price. If you need to change the sell price, simply just double click. That will work for you. And then with the current, you can, if you wish, double click and change the current price from this screen, or we're going to do a stock take. So I'm just going to very quickly show you how to do a stock take. We click on stock take there to the right hand side. We have some previous stock takes in there. I'm just going to click on new just to the top right corner of this screen. We now have an empty space there, so I'm just going to call this our Shopify, and it's pending at the moment. So we're going to move down to the bottom right corner where it says next. So just down here to the bottom. Now you can see that the screen is empty, so we've got nothing in here at the moment. So we need to add some products to count for our stock take. So just to the right hand side here, it says add. Now it's up to you. So remembering in shortcuts, when we multi-select, we must use the tiles to the left. I can't select more than one cell at a time unless I use the tiles to the left. So remembering how this works with company, line, and product, if you want to select the whole company, just select that one tile next to Dermalogica there. That will select everything inside it, even though those tiles aren't selected, everything is selected. Or I can just select a single line. I can open that up and just select the products inside. Now we're going to be doing a full inventory today, so you would want to be selecting every single product that you're going to be taking up to your Shopify shop. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to click on Ultra Calming, just so I've only got a few in here, just to demo for you. So I'm just going to come across to the right hand side and click add. So I'm only going to be adding Ultra Calming as I said, but you would want to be adding the whole company. So I've just got a few products. Obviously, you'd have a couple of hundred products in there. I'm going to click on done. So we have now the count and the computer count. So I just sort of right-clicked again and got rid of ones that I don't need, so you can do that. So all I'm really interested in today is to make sure that we get the count correct. Computer count, so that is what the computer currently says I have, which I know is not true. On my shelves I can see products, so I know that this is incorrect. So I want to go through and do our stock take. So what do we do next? If you wanted to add some more products, you can simply by clicking on add there to the right hand side. Or we're going to come down to the bottom and click start. Are you sure you want to activate this stock take? Yes. Then we have the option to print off some forms. Stock take form is your general stock take form, so this will show exactly what you see in the screen behind. Unlisted items form and the stock maintenance form, they're two blank forms. Unlisted items form is if you find a product on the shelf and it's not in your computer, so it's unlisted in the computer. And stock maintenance, you might come across something that's damaged or maybe it's faded, I don't know, but it's for some reason you want to take it off the shelf, and we run that through the system in a different way. For the purpose of today, all we would really want is our stock take form, because we want to make sure that we've got all the products in with the correct amount. Now, I'm not going to print it off because I'm not really doing a stock take, but you would print that form off. Then you're going to have your sheet. It's going to look exactly like this. And then I'm now going to click on done and done and go back. The reason I've done that is just to show you that if you click on done, you can carry on in the system doing what you're normally doing, or someone else is doing what they're normally doing, because you could still be open. And someone's gone off now and they're counting. Now, if you're closed, that's great. You can just go away and do the counting. Now, but if you are in a salon which is still open, just be careful that you're not counting a product on the shelf and then someone's gone and bought one in between the time that you've counted and then entering the products, because then it's going to be incorrect again. Okay, so if you are open, you might want to do this on a day that you're closed. It's going to be easier for you, so this weekend is perfect. And if we come back down to stock and stock take, you'll see that list of stock takes is there, and the Shopify one is active. So we started it, but we haven't completed it. So I'm just going to click on that one and then go down to next. Okay, so now we have our piece of paper and we've got our levels in there. So how are we going to get those numbers onto the window here? So the barrier defense booster, I'm just going to click in that cell there so we can see that we have a count. So I'm just going to put some random numbers in here. 2. Now you don't need to use your mouse to move down to the next cell. We just simply press enter on the keyboard. And I'm going to say that we've got 2 of all of these. There we go. So we've got our new count in there. So we're going to get a couple of information windows that pop up we just need to address before we complete this stock take. So I'm going to come down to finish at the bottom. So am I sure I want to complete this stock take? Yes. Okay, so now we have some products that have a different count amount to our computer count, so they're not tallying. Do I want to perform a recount on those that don't tally? Well, I don't. You might want to, that's fine. You click yes, it will remove all the ones that are correct, and only the ones that don't tally it will leave behind, and you can then conduct another stock take if you like. I'm going to say no, I don't want to do that. And congratulations, I've completed my stock take. So I'm going to click on done, come down to the bottom, click done again. Now, if I go back to the products, I'm just going to open Dermalogica. I'm going to open up here Ultra Calming. And now you can see that my current levels have all been updated, and I have 2 of each of those. So now I'm ready. So I've done my stock take. I've checked all my spelling. I've gone through to the cell. I've double checked that all the cell prices are correct. And then over to the right hand side, I've gone through and I've checked that all the retail is labeled correctly as retail and all the professional is labeled as professional, remembering that only the retail is going to be uploaded to Shopify. So I'm very happy with how my system is looking. So all I need to do now is generate that list ready to export up to Shopify. Let me just close that down. Now, we're going to come back to the file that we created and downloaded those 2 files to. So down at the bottom there, I'm going to click on this folder, or remembering that you can come over to the search area and click on their PC. Open up your local disk, come down to Shopify Export. So I'm just going to click on there. Now you can see that we have those 2 files. So these 2 files are going to help us generate that list. So what you need to do is go to the file that says BAT. It's very important you choose the correct file, and I'm going to right click. So we're not double clicking, we're not single clicking. I'm going to right click on this file. So the backed file I right click on, and the fourth option down says to run as an administrator. So this is very important. We're not going to open the file, we're going to run it as an administrator. So I click on run as administrator. Now this window is a warning window. So you probably see a very similar window depending on whatever virus protector you might have on your system. So I'm just going to click here more info because I don't want to don't run. So I'm not going to press this button. So the only other option I have is more info, and it gives me a little bit of a warning. That's fine, and I'm going to run anyway. Now, that little icon was flashing at the bottom. That's the little shield. That's to tell me that there's something happening on the system. So I clicked on that. Now, do you want to allow this app to make changes? Yes, I do want to allow it to make changes. Otherwise, we're not going to get to where we're going. Now I'm going to come back down to our file. And you can see that in your folder, your Shopify export folder, we now have a CSV file. I'm just going to double click on that file. Oh, that's not created. So let me just try that again. Run as administrator. So you can see now that the file has been downloaded. Now that file is ready to be uploaded into our Shopify shop. So please take care over the weekend. Look after yourselves. Go to your shop if you can. Get that stock take done, and I will see you in the next video for how we're going to move this file up into our Shopify shop. Thank you for watching.